Welcome to Islamic Finance Unboxed. For many people today, saving money in a bank is not really a choice in the way we imagine choices. It is simply the default structure of modern life. Salaries arrive through banks, bills are paid through banks, and even government systems often require a bank account just to function normally. Yet for many Muslims, this ordinary reality carries a quiet internal tension, not because of greed or ambition, but because of uncertainty. Is this participation a moral failure, or is it a practical necessity? Are we choosing the system, or merely living inside it? This episode is not about issuing rulings or drawing hard lines. It is about thinking carefully about the space between ideals and constraints, and how Islamic financial ethics interact with the world as it actually exists. The reality of modern banking. Modern banking is not just a financial tool, it is infrastructure. Much like roads or electricity, it is embedded into how societies operate. For most people, avoiding banks entirely would mean losing access to employment, housing, education, and even basic security. In this context, saving money in a bank is often not about earning interest or growing wealth, but about preservation, protecting earnings from theft, loss, or instability. When we discuss Islamic finance, it is important to remember that it was never meant to ignore reality or demand isolation from society. Instead, it encourages engagement with systems while remaining conscious of their flaws, asking not only what is ideal, but what is possible without causing greater harm. Participation versus endorsement. There is an important ethical distinction that often gets lost in these discussions: the difference between participating in a system and endorsing it. Using a bank because there is no viable alternative is not the same as believing that interest-based finance is just or desirable. One can exist within a structure without agreeing with its philosophy. This difference matters because moral responsibility is not binary. It exists on a spectrum shaped by access, power, and choice. Islamic ethical thinking has always recognized this complexity, understanding that responsibility increases with freedom and decreases under constraint. Treating all participation as equal ignores the lived reality of people navigating systems they did not design. Intention, impact, and limitation. Intent alone does not absolve everything, but neither does structure alone define guilt. Islamic ethics has always balanced intention with impact and capacity. A person who avoids interest where possible does not seek profit from it, and remains aware of the system's moral shortcomings is not acting blindly. They are making a limited decision within limited options. In many cases, the ethical act is not complete withdrawal, but conscious limitation. Minimizing harm, refusing normalization, and staying critical rather than complacent. This mindset transforms passive participation into active awareness, which is an important moral difference. Modern finance rarely offers clean, comfortable choices. More often, it presents trade-offs that force people to balance ideals with survival. Islamic finance, at its core, is not a demand for perfection, but a call for responsibility, honesty, and restraint. It recognizes that people live within systems they did not design, systems that often blur ethical lines rather than define them clearly. This perspective acknowledges the emotional weight carried by financial decisions. Earning, saving, borrowing, and investing are rarely neutral acts. They are tied to fear, hope, pressure, and obligation. When ethical finance is framed as an all-or-nothing standard, it can quietly push people towards silence or disengagement. But when it is framed as a process, one that values awareness over absolutes, it invites participation rather than avoidance. Understanding this helps shift the conversation away from fear and judgment and toward clarity and compassion. Instead of dividing choices into rigid categories of permissible and forbidden without context, it allows room to examine intention, necessity, and consequence. It allows people to think more deeply about their financial actions without feeling trapped between guilt and denial. Rather than abandoning ethical concerns altogether or living under constant self-criticism, they can engage thoughtfully with their circumstances. In doing so, Islamic finance becomes less about policing behavior and more about cultivating moral awareness. opening space for ethical reflection, even inside imperfect systems where clarity is rare and choices are never simple. If these reflections resonate with you, this channel exists to explore exactly these kinds of questions, calmly, thoughtfully, and without reducing complex realities into slogans or rules. Each episode looks at modern financial tools through an ethical lens, asking how values, necessity, and responsibility intersect in everyday life. If you'd like to continue thinking through these ideas together, you're welcome to stay here. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening.